Right, so this webinar is an introduction to PubMed. In this workshop, you'll learn how to search PubMed to find citations. You'll also learn the basic and advanced features to find articles. We'll talk about how to find abstracts with links to full text of articles, how to create an NCBI account, how to save queries, or how to save searches and set up weekly or monthly emailed search results, how to organize results into custom collections, and how to export citations from PubMed um, into a citation manager. So PubMed is a database that has citations in it. So you may not have access to the full text of the article, but it's a collection of all citations from thousands of different journals. And the fields that it focuses on is research, public health, biomedicine, basically anything related to healthcare, health sciences. That's the topic of within PubMed. Now, this slide shows you what's included in PubMed. So this entire slide is PubMed. So PubMed is the interface that you're using, and then there are things that are inside PubMed that you're retrieving. So Medline is a subset of articles that are within PubMed. So Medline are journals that have gone through a rigorous process. They have this inclusion criteria they have to meet in order for them to become Medline journals. And only Medline journals have mesh terms attached to them. So we're not going to get into mesh terms in today's session, but just be aware that if you ever did a search and you only use mesh terms, you would only get a subset of what's included in PubMed. So be aware of that. Also be aware that there are things in PubMed that are from places like PubMed Central. So this PMC, Arthur Manuscripts, that's PMC stands for PubMed Central. And so if anyone, if you receive NIH funding, one of the requirements is that you submit your manuscript to PubMed Central. And then also PubMed Central includes, there are certain journals that they just submit all of their articles to PubMed Central. But things that are in PubMed Central have not gone through the rigorous process, inclusion process, that things that are in Medline have gone through. So just be aware of that. So just because something's in PubMed doesn't mean it's a peer-reviewed journal. That's another thing to keep in mind, is that if something is a Medline journal, it is peer-reviewed because it's going through this rigorous process. And it's the only peer-reviewed journals are included in Medline. But if something's just a PMC journal, it may or may not be a peer-reviewed journal. And there is a way that you can determine whether something is a peer-reviewed journal. And I'm going to put a link to a YouTube video on this topic. And they do a pretty good job of explaining to you, like, if you want to find out whether the journal you're looking at, if you found an article or a journal in PubMed and you want to know whether it's a peer-reviewed journal, there are steps you can take to find that out. So give me a minute and I will put that in the chat. And also PubMed includes books. So there are citations to ebooks, book chapters, and reports are also in PubMed as well. And you can use the filters that we'll get to in a few slides. If you want to limit your search and only show articles or only certain types of articles, there are things you can do to limit your results. But just be aware that if you just do a general search in PubMed, you're getting, all these different things in your results. Let's get that. Now, when you are searching PubMed, so it's a good idea, as I mentioned, so it's a citation, it's this free database, and it has citations from thousands of journals. But only the things that are in PubMed Central have the full text that are available for free to everyone. So there are some things in PubMed that you have to have a subscription in order to access the full text. Now, so for that reason, whenever you search PubMed, it's a good idea to start on the library's homepage in order to access PubMed. That way, it's going to recognize that you're affiliated with UAB, so you'll have to put in your Blazor ID and password, and then you'll be able to access the full text of articles that require a subscription. And even if we don't have it, we also have something called interlibrary loan, and so you can request the article through interlibrary loan. So when you do a search for something, you look for this green full text at UAB Libraries button, and that's how you get the full text. Another option is we have something called LibKey Nomad, and you can download this particular, it's a browser extension that it works with Chrome, Firefox, whatever browser you're using. And if you have this browser extension, then you can be able to access the full text of articles that way. So the next few slides show you what that will look like. Let's see. So if you have LibKey Nomad downloaded in your browser, then this is what you would see. You see this little blue box with the green flame that says provided by UAB, and you'll see these little blue icons, these little blue buttons underneath the title in PubMed. And my colleague, all right, let's see. My colleague Melanie is on. Melanie, can you put a link in the chat to LibKey Nomad for them?
Yes, I will. Let me find that.
Okay, thanks. All right, so here's the homepage of PubMed. Now, one thing that you may find useful is creating a My NCBI account. It's a free account, and it's just a way for you. It can save your searches. You can save your searches, create accounts. Hold on one moment. Okay, yeah, save searches, create accounts. You can set up automatic searches, things like that. So it's really useful, can save you a lot of time. Also, just kind of keep in mind that when you do a search in PubMed, by default, it will save your search for about 8 hours. But longer than after that, it's gonna erase what you've done. So if you think, you have to work on a search and maybe you can only spend a few minutes on it or a short amount of time on it for right now, and you want to come back to it later, but you don't want to lose your work, it will be useful for you to log into create a MyNCBI account, and whenever you're doing a search, to log into your search, and then you can do a little search right now and then come back later and work on it some more later and things like that. So it could be really useful for you, a really useful feature. So to create a MyNCBI account, when you create an account, this is what it would look like. So you would see this, I have different searches where it says recent activities, keep track of everything I've done. If I had any saved searches, it would have that here. If I had any collections, you would see that here. Those are mostly probably the things you would focus on: saved searches, collections, and just recent activity.
Can you share what a collection is?
Yes, I will do that in just a few slides. I will. Thank you for that question. Okay, so to creating a collection, well, I'll go ahead and answer it now. So a collection is like if you have some results on a certain topic and you want to save all of those together and maybe come back to it later, or if you're working with a team and you want to share this set of results with a group of people, you can create a link and you can send that link to anyone, and then they'll be able to access all the articles that you want them to see. So it's just a collection of articles that you want to keep either for yourself or you want to share with other people. So to create an account from the home page, if you look in the upper right corner, you'll see a little box that says, a little button that says login. So you click on that. And then from there, you have to use a third party to create the account. I usually use my UAB account, my Blazer ID and password, because you can do it through your university. I think that's the easiest thing to do because you don't have to memorize another password or anything like that. But you can also log in using your ERA Commons account if you have that already. You can log in using your Google account or anything else that's listed here. But I usually log in using my Blazer ID and password. So if you use your Blazer ID and password, when you click on that login link, and you would click on more login options. And then I usually put in Birmingham into the search box, and then you'll see our university will come up, and I click that. And then from there, you put in your Blazer ID and password. And you would click, if it's your first time creating this account, you would select create a new account, and then you click continue. And then you'll be logged into your account. So there are different ways. Let me try to show you what that will look like. I'm gonna log in. Okay, it's thinking. Okay, so I've done this before. So it's saying welcome back. I log in. Okay, so notice this is what you'll see. You'll see your Blazor ID in the upper right now, and I'll click on this and I'll go to my dashboard just so you can see what it'll look like. So these are saved searches, which I do believe I'm going to go over in a few more slides, but these are searches that I've ran before and now I've saved them. And if I wanted, like for saved searches, I can even do updates. I can have it send me automatic updates. So for example, if I wanted to give me updates like daily, weekly, monthly, you know, whatever, quarterly, I can set up those different things and anything. So if I did a search and it was like a really good search and I want to continue getting articles on that particular topic, I can save the search and tell it how often I wanted to send me updates on that topic. This is the collections I told you about. So this is if this is more, the collections are stagnant. So the saved searches, where you can do updates on those, they're constantly updated, but the collections are stagnant. So those are things that you have this one particular collection or this one particular group of articles, and they're always, whatever number you have there is always going to stay that number unless you go in and add additional articles to that group of articles, to your group. And these are things that notice right here that says public. When it says public, there's a link associated with that. And I can send that link to anyone and they'll be able to access that group of articles that I have. And then these are recent searches that I've done. And if I wanted to, I can click on any of these things and it'll take me to, so it's telling me like this is a record. So if I clicked on this, it would take me to this particular record. But if I wanted to see recent activity, like this one says search, it should take me to the search that I did on this topic. I'm gonna go back to PubMed. So how to find a known article. All right, so you have different options on how to find a known article. So if there's an article, let's say someone shares something with you and says, okay, I want you to find this particular article or this list of articles. You have a couple different options on how to do that. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I recommend the first way and the third way that are listed on here. I think the second way is kind of cumbersome, but I think the easiest thing for you to do is going to either be searched by the title. So just copy and paste the title, copy the title and paste it into the search box of PubMed. Or the other way that's really easy is you can copy the PMID or PMCID number. So the PMID number, as well as the PMCID number, those are unique numbers that are assigned to every article in PubMed. So let's focus on the PMID number is a unique number that's assigned to every article within PubMed. And remember I mentioned that a subset of articles in PubMed, they may be PMC or PubMed Central articles. If they are a PubMed Central article, then they're going to have a PMID number and they're going to have a unique PMC ID number. So those, anyway, so they're unique numbers associated with those articles. And you can put those numbers directly into the search box and it'll retrieve those articles for you. All right, so let's give it a try. So for this first one, I don't have a PM ID or PMC ID number. So for this one, I would recommend I would just copy the title and paste it. So let me just exit. And I'm going to copy this title. And then I'm going to paste it. Okay, and so it pops up. Here's the article. This one, I can do the same thing, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to skip to this one. So notice, this is what I mentioned. I said the PMID number. This is the PMID number. And this one has a PMC number as well. So that means that this article is in PubMed Central. But anyway, I can just take this number, copy it, paste it here, and click search. And it comes up. That was the article. All right, any questions so far? Oops, there's some things in chat. Let me see what's there. Okay, no question right now. All right, when you want to search PubMed. So the first thing you want to do is identify whatever the main ideas are of your research question or whatever your topic is. We also call those keywords. And you put those keywords in your search box. So you wouldn't put in, yeah, you just focus on the main ideas. All right. So then you combine those terms using and or and sometimes not. And you can use this filters on the left of the screen to help narrow your results. And then you can add citations as you go to your collections or your group of articles that you want to save, or you can export them to a citation manager.
Can I ask a question, Megan?
Yes.
So when using keywords, and you might get into this later, when do you choose a keyword or when do you try to search using a mesh term?
Okay, so I'm not going to go over mesh in today's session, but I
Okay.
would say, so using mesh, it would depend on, well, for one thing, okay, if you're doing like a systematic review or a scoping review, like if you're doing anything that requires you to do a comprehensive search, so if you're doing like a dissertation, systematic review, scoping review, something like that, then you will want to use both keywords and mesh terms. But if
Okay.
you're just doing like a quick search, let's say like you're in the clinic or something like that, or you just need to pull up a few good articles just really quickly, then you can just do a keyword, just do like a
Okay.
really.
Thank you. That's helpful.
All right, so here, a patient has gallbladder issues and wants to learn about whether going vegan or vegetarian might help his gallbladder. Okay, so we want to determine what are our main ideas here. So can you put in the chat box, like, what do you think are the main ideas? We want to find articles about this topic. What are like probably some of the words we probably put in the search box of PubMed? All right, thank you so much for your participation. So, we're going to pick things like gallbladder and diet. So we're kind of looking at that, or vegetarian or vegan. So we're looking at either or. Yeah, excellent. So our topics are gallbladder, vegan, vegetarian. Goodness, what is going on here? Okay, so we're going to do a search. So we can do something like vegan or vegetarian and gallbladder. So what I'm thinking, the reason, and I could say, I mean, I could leave it like that, or I could do this, because to me, the diet goes along conceptually, goes along with the vegan or vegetarian. So I could do it like that, or diet is broader. So if I want to really focus it on the vegetarian or vegan, I can just leave it as vegetarian or vegan, and gallbladder. And then I can look through my results. and I'm only getting 11. So if I needed to expand it, I can expand it using mesh terms. I can also expand it with, say, diet. So putting the asterisk on the end, that expands the, it means I get multiple endings, so I'll get like both singular and plural. And as far as putting it in parentheses, that tells the database to group, how to group things. So think about it like in math or in algebra, when you had please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, that you look in the P is parentheses, and it tells you to look inside the parentheses first and then go outside the parentheses. So in a database, it does the same thing, or in PubMed, it does the same thing, where the parentheses tells PubMed to look inside the parentheses first and then go outside the parentheses. Oh, wow. See? I think the diet is what really did it. Yeah. Okay, so we have our search. If we want to go over what we're actually seeing here. So in the abstract, on the abstract page, we see on the right, there's cite. So you can use this if you need to quickly get a citation. You can use this. Right now it's in AMA. You can change it to, another citation style. And then you could just copy this and put this in a Word document, or if you were doing it for a discussion board for a Canvas or something like that, you can copy this and, use that. It can be a quick way to get a citation. But you can also select download this in bib, and you can send this to a citation management software. So you can do that as well.
Like EndNote, maybe?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That's one way you can send it there. And this is also one way if you want to send it to your group that you're creating. You can either create a new group and name it something, or you can add it to an existing group, and then I can pick whatever group I wanted to put it in. This shows you similar articles, shows you what it's been cited by. And if there were mesh terms, you'd also see the mesh terms at the bottom as well. So let me pick another one so you can see. Search results. I'm gonna go back to search results. Okay, and you can see that mesh terms. So you can see that from here, it says mesh terms as well. And I'm gonna expand this. So you can, if you click on, you right click on it, it'll give you a drop down menu, and then you can search in mesh if you want to know like what that mesh term meant, and then you can go to the record and you can read more about it. So you can use these filters if you want to filter by date. You want to filter by article type, publication date again. Oh, something to be aware of is that if you use these article types, if you use any of these right here, you will limit it only to Medline journals. So just be aware of that. Even if you started off just doing a keyword search, if you click any of these, that means you're limiting your search to only Medline results. This is another way to limit it to only Medline results. And if you don't see the filters here that you need, you can look for additional filters. So you can click here, and then you can filter by article type, age, things like that. So if I want to add more, I'm gonna click show, and when you click show, it just adds it here. It hasn't applied the filter, but it just adds it. If I want to apply it, I can click on it. And so now I'm seeing a subset. I'm only seeing 6.
Can you say more about what you mean by Medline? I think I'm just unfamiliar with that.
Okay, so when you say, let me go back. Okay.
Oh, it's because I was late. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So this big box is everything that's in PubMed. So there are multiple things in PubMed. So Medline is a subset of what's in PubMed. And Medline journals they have to go through this rigorous process to be included. So they're definitely peer reviewed. And there's some other criteria they have as well. Okay. So whenever, like if you're doing a systematic review, if you ever hear someone say, you need to search Medline. So PubMed is just the interface that you use to search Medline, but there are other databases that also have Medline in it as well. But anyway, so this Medline, only Medline journals, or only articles that are in Medline journals have mesh terms attached to them. So also in PubMed, there's something called PubMed Central, and that's what this PMC stands for. So if anyone is getting NIH funding, they are getting then they're required to submit their manuscripts into PubMed Central, which is, the full text of it would be free. And then there are also some other journals that have agreements with like PubMed Central, and they deposit things into PubMed. And so my point of saying that was just to know that just because something's in PubMed doesn't mean it's peer reviewed, doesn't mean it's like a good journal per se, because it could be a PubMed Central journal. Only the ones that are within PubMed are definitely like good journals. Oh, but I don't say good. They're definitely peer reviewed and they've gone through a rigorous process. Some of the ones that are in PubMed Central, they still could be good, but there's no guarantee. But the ones in Medline definitely are.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, the cite button, you can also see the cite button from your results list. So you could click into the record and see for cite, or you can also do it from the record. So you could do it from here. I'm going to change my display option from abstract to summary. This has something to do with. Okay, so it has to be on summary. All right, so you can click cite here and you can see it. Or you can do it from, again, within the record and click the button and see it. So there's the save button. Okay, so that's when if you want to save a search. So if I did this search and I'm like, okay, I really like it, you can click save. All results, I can do either all results on this page, or I can just do all results. And I can create the file. Okay, yeah, I could create a file, but that's actually something different. So if you want to create an alert, you would do your search and you would click create alert. All right, and then name of search, so you can name it whatever you want to. Here are the search terms. Would you like email updates for new results? You can click yes or no. And then the frequency and which day you set all this stuff, and then you click save, and then it'll be in your dashboard as that saved search. You can also email the results to yourself or to anyone else. All right, create a collection. So here are the steps for that. So I'm going to, let's see, cancel this. So I can select, if I don't click anything, it'll just select everything. So I can click send to collections, and I can do all results. I can select create a new collection. I can name it something. Then I click add. And then it's saying new items are added to my collection, and I can edit it because by default it's going to make it private. But if you want to share it with other people, you select edit your collection, and then you click make it public. And so now there's this link, and you can share this link with anyone and they'll see the results, the group of results that you saved. So I'm going to put this in chat, and you should be able to click on it and be able to access it. All right, did it work? Were you all able to see it?
I'm opening it now. I don't know, it's not opening, but I think it's more so my internet than the link.
Okay, well, did it open for anyone else?
It did for me.
Okay. And these slides are just showing you the steps that I just showed you and where you would see it, which I showed you earlier, and the collections is where you would see it. We talked about making it public and the link. Okay, results by year. You can move this little sliding scale to, for your results by year if you want to. I already went over this, but by article filter, you can do that as well. Additional filters, I went over that. All right, advanced search. So I'm gonna go to advanced search now. So I'm going back to the PubMed homepage. So at the bottom, underneath your search box, if you click advanced, so this is advanced search. So you can, when you want to search, you can search by these numbers. So you could do, let me see. I'm going to do another search. So I'm going to say, so you can search, well, I'll show you a couple of different things. So you could search from this box. And right now it's in all fields, which means it'll be title, abstract, it won't search full text. So PubMed does not search full text, but it will search like title, abstract, journal, title of the journal, author affiliation, all those different things. And you can click this drop-down menu. You can select any of these options. You could tell the database, search for that word or phrase in a very specific place. And then you can click add, and then I can do, I can click and. So now, it's there. And I can do, if I click search, okay, I'll just show you. So if I click search, it takes me here. All right, I'm gonna go back to advanced. I'm gonna click add query, and that just brings it back up here. If I don't want it to bring me to that search page, I just want to kind of like see what my results are doing, I could just add to history. Oh, I didn't change it, so I'll do a separate one. Like add to history. Okay, so then it just adds it to the bottom so I can see how many numbers I'm getting. So you can also, let's see, you can do one thing at a time. So I'll do diabetes, child, and you can add things together. So I can do number 10 and number 11, add to history. And notice, so child and diabetes here, 9507, same thing, 9507. So just different ways of doing the same thing. You can also do this. You can click on these little three dots and you can select add to query. And then you can do, I want to do child and diabetes again. I can click this little three dots, add with and, add to history, same thing. So it's just different ways of doing the same thing. So sometimes this could be useful if you need to build a search out like line by line and kind of figure out like how many results am I getting with this concept and how many results am I getting with, concept B versus concept A, and kind of adding things together slowly. So it could be useful for that. Any questions so far? Oh, wait, someone has something. Let's see. Okay. All right, you can also use it to, so I did all fields, but let me do it with actually diabetes. and I can do title, where I'm telling it to only search for diabetes in the title, add to history, or I can do title abstract. And just notice how you are getting more results. So here for title, we're getting around 300,000. If we say title and abstract, we're getting more. So it could be a way, again, if you want to figure out the best way to search and how many things are published on different things, it could be a useful thing to use. Also notice you can download your search. So it'll download as an Excel spreadsheet. And so that way, if you want to keep track of, what searches you did, how many searches you did, how many things you retrieved in each option, you can select download. And it downloads it. Let's see, I'm going to show you what it looks like. Downloads it as an Excel spreadsheet. So you see the search that you did. You see if there were any filters used. Those are the filters that are on the left. You see, this is how PubMed interpreted your search. But the big thing would probably be the number of results that you're getting. You see your results. So that could be useful to you. And it's keeping track of all of this stuff because notice it has these are the articles we looked for earlier. So as you're searching in PubMed, it's keeping track of all of this. But if you ever want an Excel spreadsheet of what have I done in PubMed during my session, you can go to advanced search and then click download and you'll have a record of everything you did during your search session. All right, any questions?
This was helpful. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Well, if you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to me via email or contact the library in general from our website, our webpage. This concludes what I have to cover. So unless you'll have any questions, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. All right, you're welcome. All right, I'm going to stop the recording.